Hi, everyone. First Alert Meteorologist Scott Gagliardi here with your Friday morning First Alert Weather Extra. We have nice conditions out there. We saw a lot of cloud cover first thing this morning, but what we're noticing as we go through the rest of the morning and into the afternoon is those clouds begin to break, and it is going to be a sunny afternoon. And if you're heading to the beach, well, it's a perfect beach day. I mean, we're talking comfortable levels of, say, temperature-wise. Temperatures climbing into those mid-80s. This is very typical for this time of year. Humidity levels definitely on the higher end, looking at dew points well up into the 60s and 70s. So feeling like July for sure. Let's get right to the maps because Old Saybrook, this is an area that a lot of people will most likely be heading to later on this afternoon, maybe even later this morning. And there's still plenty of clouds, so don't let these scare you off. Just give it a couple more hours, and we're going to see mostly sunny skies, especially along the shoreline. Middletown, you had a lot of clouds this morning, and look at that. Mostly sunny skies. Traffic along Route 9 moving along just fine. Looking at the Connecticut River there, also a great place to spend today. Anywhere near any of our bodies of water here in Connecticut. You have Long Island Sound, any of our rivers, lakes. Yeah, it looks pretty good out there. New Haven, you're seeing 75 degrees, one of the warmer spots in the state right now, but visibility looks good. You can see Sleeping Giant way off in the distance there as we look across the green and the Yale campus. Very, very nice out there. Hartford, you've been hanging on to the clouds for quite some time. Temperature at this hour, 71. The clouds, though, they will continue to break, and we're looking at mostly sunny skies in just another hour or two. First Alert Live Radar, though, very different from yesterday. Remember we had those flash flood warnings through parts of Windham County, pouring rain through that morning commute. Yesterday was a tough one. Luckily, today we are seeing nothing like that. Clouds and some areas of some patchy fog, but even that's very, very isolated. Your temperatures, Groton now up to 70, still holding on to those mid and upper 60s though for Putnam, Tolland, Willimantic, and Norwich. Everybody else in those 70s. 70 at Torrington, 71 from Windsor Locks down through Hartford. Danbury, you're 74 right now in Waterbury, looking at 70. Dew points, notice they're in the 60s and to near 70. So we're calling this muggy to near humid. Either way, it's very typical for what we see in July. So when you step outdoors this morning and even maybe this afternoon, depending on if you're a late sleeper, none of this should be surprising. Your beach forecast looks good today. 70s, the farther east that you head through Mystic, Niantic, Rocky Neck, State Park, maybe even a bit farther east. So you're heading towards Mesquamaket. Looking at those 70s, but the farther west that you head, better chance of reaching that 80-degree mark. Our UV index is a 9, so of course make sure you bring that sunscreen and apply it often. High tide comes in late morning and early afternoon. New London, that high tide comes in at 10:46. Your dew point trend, though, is not our friend if you don't like the humidity. Look at that. Through the next 7 days. Yeah, we're keeping the humidity around. It gets downright oppressively humid by the time we get towards next week. So comparatively, the humidity this weekend won't be even nearly as bad as what we're expecting once we get towards Tuesday because, well, by Tuesday, we're forecasting day one of a potential heat wave. Remember, as here in Connecticut, you need 3 days of 90 degrees or better, and that's exactly what's in our forecast. You're looking at the forecast for temperatures to be at or above average on day 6 through 10. And yeah, at this point, still looking some pretty good signals to see those mild temperatures for about the next, say, week to week and a half. Your heat risk on Tuesday, notice those moderate levels with some of the red shadings sprinkled in across parts of the area. That'll be major, but I wouldn't be surprised if this gets upgraded. It's going to be pretty hot Tuesday, especially Wednesday, too. I'm looking at those low to possibly middle 90s, feeling even hotter. So far this year, we've had 10 days at or above 90, so fairly typical for what we'd see by this point in time. The average in a single summer is 20, so we're halfway there. Nowhere near that. Look at that, 2020, 39 90-degree days. Wow, that was a hot year. Your satellite and radar, though, across the eastern half of the U.S. Notice a lot of the organized thunderstorm activities well out towards the west or the Midwest, and even well south of Connecticut through the Carolinas. Not looking at any issues here locally today, except for the slightest chance of a spot shower, maybe a storm, very summer-like pop-ups. You'll see it play out on our First Alert Futurecast. Here's around 2, 3, 4 o'clock. Those green and even some yellow shadings indicating maybe a storm. But the chance does exist this afternoon for something to pop up. It's really not a big deal, and most of us stay completely dry. Then when we get towards this evening and throughout the overnight hours, maybe you're heading to Torrington. Fireworks displays tonight. It looks good. There's a couple clouds, but not tracking any rain. You're waking up tomorrow. Tomorrow's basically a carbon copy of today. Some patchy fog, lots of clouds, and then in the afternoon, maybe a storm. But notice the best chance for any thunderstorms on your Saturday is well off towards the north and to the west of Connecticut. A lot of us enjoying that sunshine. Temperatures once again on your Saturday, mid-80s. And then on Sunday, lots of clouds. The clouds could hang on a bit longer on Sunday because we're keeping that easterly breeze around. As you know, that normally keeps Connecticut locked into the cloudiness at least. So Sunday, dry, but keeping the clouds around for a little bit longer. As far as your forecast highs today, pick the town or city closest to you. Notice the 70s to the south and east, but mid and upper 80s at times for parts of interior Connecticut. We're forecasting officially 86 degrees. Sunset comes in at 8:26. Your lows tonight, very similar to tonight, but those clouds will be on the increase, upper 60s and lower 70s. Some patchy fog developing late. Your First Alert 7-day forecast, once again, tomorrow, just like today. Once we get towards Sunday, it's 86. It's muggy, keeping those clouds around as well. Monday, though, it is quite humid. Some of the thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening hours could be possibly on the stronger side. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But then beyond that, there's our heat wave. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days in a row at or above 90. This could likely even go maybe into next Friday. It's all going to depend on the passage of a cold front and kind of how slow it heads towards Connecticut or how quickly. We'll keep a close eye on that. But either way, it will be muggy to downright humid. Those 90s will feel a bit warmer, even the overnights in the 70s. It's going to be a warm stretch next week. There's a look at your shoreline high temperatures, 80s, low 80s this weekend and into next week. But even there, next week, mid and upper 80s will feel more like 90 with all the humidity. So a couple hot days, several of them expected for next week. Likely heat wave number 2. All right, guys. Other than that, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Head to the beach if you're planning on, you don't have any plans yet and you want to maybe do something that will be very summer-like. Today is an excellent beach day. Really like the way things are shaping up, especially across the shoreline. As mentioned, inland towns, maybe a storm. Other than that, have a great day and a great weekend.